All right, welcome to the stretching session. Let's go ahead and let's get started. So first, we're going to start off with our forearms here. So go ahead, grab your hands. You're going to kind of point your fingers towards your knees and just lean back. Just a little bit, just like this. You're going to feel all of this stretch out. If you want to make it easier, bring it towards closer to your knees. If you want to make it harder, then just simply go a little bit further away from your knees. And then, like I said, lean back just slightly. All right. Then from here, we're going to come up, down. So we're doing 10 reps total. So one going all the way up, and the other going all the way down. So doing them at one at a time is one rep. So that would be one rep. This would be another rep. All right. Once you're done with that, you're going to go ahead. From here, you're going to have your legs come open just like this. I call this like the frog stretch. So getting all inner groin area. You're going to hold it here. If you want to make it harder, you go back. If you want to make it easier, you just go forward. Okay, and sometimes what you can even do is you can actually mix them up a little bit. So you can go forward and back. All right, from here, come up, and now twist. So my elbow's still down on the ground, but this arm is pushing up, and essentially I'm looking up towards the ceiling. Then go ahead, do the other side. So elbow down, here. All right, next up, we're going to go ahead and do some hip stretches here. So essentially, we're going to start off with a little bit of hips towards the ground. And then go ahead and go into child's pose just like this. Thumbs always up. And we're going to be doing 6 of these. So one rep, you bring your hips to the ground and then bringing them back. Now, if going into hyperextension like this hurts your lower back, then don't do it. Only go as far that is comfortable. But this one should be pretty safe. Next up, on your hands and knees, go ahead and you're going to bring this shoulder, you're going to touch the ground. So just like this. And then if you want to go the other way. And we're going to be doing 10 each side. So that's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. All right, and 10. Okay, so next up, kind of keeping the focus on the spine here, on shoulders. You're now going to go on your side, just like this. Top leg is going to be forward, so it's going to be essentially touching the ground. This leg, this bottom leg, is going to go straight. Okay, and then your top hand is going to go behind your head like this. You're going to start off going forward. Try to touch the elbow towards the ground, and then you're going to go ahead and come back, just like this. You might hear a pop, snap, crack in the spine. That's normal. Try to get your arm, your forearm, basically, or your elbow to touch the ground on the other side. If you can't, it's okay. Just go as far as you can. So going forward and then going back, that's 1 rep. We're going to do 12 on each side. And whichever side you notice is tighter or more restrictive, you're just going to do a few more reps, maybe another 2 or 3 reps on that side. So that should be 2. It's going to be 3. 6. 8. 11. All right. So once you've done one side, you're going to go ahead. We're going to do the other side now. So here we go. So same thing, going forward. So remember, top leg is kind of in front of you. Your bottom arm is over this knee. Leg is basically flat on the ground. You're going to go ahead, come forward.
and 12. Okay, so now we got our spine. We've done a couple of hip stuff now, and we also did some shoulder stuff. So now we're going to go ahead. We're going to kind of do another part of the hip, which is the hip flexor. It gets very tight on a lot of people here, so you can come on up. So here, this leg, I'll show you like this. You may want to use a pillow for your knee here if you have a hard surface like I do. And then basically this arm is going to come up. You're going to lean a little forward. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze the hamstrings. Go ahead and bring this up as high as you can. And then you can even like tilt a little bit to the other side. That's going to get a lot of the obliques here. If you squeeze this glute back here in your hamstring, you should feel the hip flexor even more as you do this. So we're going to do 6 reps on each side. And if you notice one side, once again, tighter than the other, then you're going to go ahead and just do another 2 or 3 reps on that side. So for example, for me, my right hip flexor has a tendency to be a little tighter than the left. So I'm doing my left side right now, but when I switch over to my right, I'll probably do an extra 2 or 3. So let's go ahead, let's get 6 in. All right, that's 6. Let's go ahead, we'll switch to the other side now. So once again, now the right side, we're going to be focusing on. Arm is up, same thing. You're just going to come, yeah. Yes, definitely the tighter side right there. I'll kind of show you guys from this angle so you see what I'm doing with my body. So just like this. So that's 6. I'll do another probably 3. Okay. All right. Next up, we're going to kind of get down a little bit of hamstring, a little bit of groin area. So basically, what I'm going to have you do is here. You're going to go ahead and bring this foot up. It's on the outside of my arm. You're going to feel a stretch kind of right in the hamstring, top of the hamstring, near the groin area. And we're just going to switch sides. In total, we're going to do 10. And the same thing, if you notice one side is tighter, then you may do an extra 2 or 3. So 10 each side. So here we go. And as you do this, try to bring your hips towards the ground. That's, so that would be 3. 4, 5, good. 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19. All right, 20. And so for me, my right side's a little bit tighter. So we're just going to do an extra 3. All right. Next up, breaking a little sweat here. All right, next up, we're gonna actually work a little bit on thoracic rotation and shoulders, scapula specifically. So I wanna go ahead, I wanna show you a couple different angles. So here, you're gonna be on your elbows, on your knees. You're then gonna go ahead, come up, so this and back down. This is a good one if you have kind of shoulder pain, especially in that back there, kind of winging. It could be a little weak. So this is a good one to kind of get that active, as well as getting some of that rotation in the thoracic spine. What I like to do as well is look at my hand as I rotate. It's about 15. If you notice one side, you're a little bit more limited than the other. So like that was my right side. I did 15 on that side, but you know, if that side's a little bit more limited, I may actually do 20 reps. So now let's go ahead and go to the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 15 on my left side as well. Show you guys something too. All right. Now, as we kind of start to conclude the stretching, it's real important that we do a lot of activation as well. Most of the time when muscles are tight, it's because they're probably a little weak. So stretching is good to kind of get some of that tension, but we really want to do some more than anything, some activation here. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of glute, a little bit of hip activation. So what I'm going to do here is actually bring the hips up. Because the glutes, arms are coming up, and then just back down, just like this. All right, so we're going to do 12 of these. So all the way up, down. This is 2. Got some cracking going on, that's okay. There we go. A little less cracking, that's good. As when you're going all the way down, try to get your back as flat as possible. All right. Next up, as far as, once again, going into the activation, we're going to do kind of like a scapula press here. So essentially back down to elbows, back to knees. You're just going to go ahead, come up, almost like you're doing a push-up, but only with your shoulders. So I would say do 20 of these. So I believe this is 7 for me. should be 20. Okay. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to kind of address a couple areas. One, the chest, as well as the neck here. So for the chest, what we're going to do is we're just going to do a stretch that you can actually do this with a pillow, but I'm just going to kind of show this, I guess if you don't, but you can have the pillow right here. You know what? I'm actually going to grab a pillow real quick. Okay, here we go. So we got a pillow, and basically, go ahead, lay down. Now the pillow you're going to want kind of like about mid-upper back or so, but definitely pretty much in between the, right on the scapulas. And then you're going to want to clasp your hands like this, fingers, and basically just lean back and just try to press your elbows into the ground as you bring your head back. Okay, so we're doing two things. We're actually addressing neck here, and we're addressing chest. And if you want, this is kind of a flat pillow for me, so I would probably recommend maybe having 2 or 3 pillows, just so that way you can really get that stretch, really get that range of motion. So let's go ahead and let's knock out 20 reps. So right here. So 1 rep is just pushing down and then just relaxing. When you relax, for a lot of people they have tight chests, so you're probably going to notice your elbows pop up a little bit. That's totally fine. So just push down and back up, relax. Let's go. Eight, 9, 10. All right. So just got done doing 20 reps. Next up, we're actually going to do some side hip stuff. So if you want, we can actually use this pillow again. We can actually put this right here on the knee. And so essentially we're going to do 2 things here. First, we're going to start off with a stretch. So what's nice about the pillow here is this actually gives me a little bit more of a stretch on the side here, so on the hip, and as well as like your QL, oblique, some of these side muscles here. Okay, and you can tell my arm is relatively straight, and I'm almost kind of like really trying to tilt onto the side, almost kind of like as if I'm doing an oblique crunch kind of. But you're going to go ahead and kind of push down. You should feel a stretch all through here. Really feel that stretch. And then basically from here, you're actually going to lift up a little bit. So you're going to lift up. Now, this is a little too much for you. You can try to do this on your elbow. I like to do this one just a little bit on my arm because you get more of a stretch here. But you can also do it like this as well. It's just not much of a stretch. Now, another way to kind of to change this is you can actually do the stretch. So you're doing your stretch. And then when you want to do the lift, well, you can just come down to your elbow, and then you can do the lift like this. And this is totally fine as well. So that way we're getting a little bit of that stretch as well as activation. And then you would just come up here and then back to the stretch again. Okay, so total we're going to do 6 of these on each side. And same thing, if you notice one side is tighter, especially tighter and weaker, try to do it another 3. All right. So anyways, I'm going to show you with just a straight arm. So come here, so that would be 1, 2, 4, 5. All right, that's 6. Good. Okay. Go ahead, do the other side. So same thing, got the pillow there. Start from the side, open this up, should already feel a stretch. And then same thing here, like we're doing that side crunch. Then go ahead, come up. So one. Ooh, yeah. So I definitely feel this more on my right side. So I'm probably going to do another at least 3 reps. So that would be 3, so I have another 6 left. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's going to be 9 on that side. All right, next up, we're going to finish off with just some neck stretches, which I think are real important. So we're going to do neck and then maybe some calves. So for the neck, pretty basic. You don't have to be on your knees like this. This is just what I'm doing. Actually, you know what? We'll do it like this. Basically here, you're just going to go ahead. The neck, I actually want you to stretch like this. And then almost like look up a little bit. So we want to get this as well a little bit of the front of the neck. A lot of the times we stretch the back of the neck, which can actually make things worse. So we're just doing, first we'll do the side, and then you're going to push against the hand a little bit and then back down, or relax this arm. You can actually either have this arm below, like you're sitting on it, or you can just have it down like this and reaching. That's fine too. So you're going to push for probably about 3 seconds. So 3, 2, 1, and just relax. And then we'll do it one more time. 3, 2, 1, and then go ahead and relax. And each time you kind of want to hold this here for about 30 seconds or so. And of course we're going to go ahead, switch over. We'll do the other side. We're looking up, other hand is down. Do the initial stretch. And then go ahead, kind of push up a little bit here. Go ahead and relax. Push one more time. So usually I like to do it about like 3 times. All right, and then just the last little bit is going to be calves. So here, I like to do knee a little bit bent. So knee bent. So if you were to look at it from this angle, the knee is a little bit bent, just like this, a little forward. So you can hold it here. You can do the same thing like we did for the neck. You can actually push up like here. And go ahead and go all the way down. Try to get that heel down, but it's okay if you can't. And then we're going to go ahead and do the other side. Go ahead and push up. As you can tell, when I do this at the top, I hold for a bit and then push back down again. Oh man, that right side is a little bit tighter than the left. So hold it there for a little longer. Typically you want to hold it for about 30 seconds. And there you go, guys. All right. Hope you enjoyed the stretch session.